Friday Night Football is brought to you by iwantsmart.com, local HVAC experts. Welcome to Friday Night Football on 13 WREX, your sports authority.
It's time for a Week 6 edition of Friday Night Football. Boylan and Hononegah renew their classic rivalry, plus a big game in the playoff chase for two big northern teams. And top-ranked Lena Winslow puts itself to the test. We're waddling into Week 6.
Well, welcome to a Week 6 edition of Friday Night Football. I'm Derek Bain. He is Eric Graver. The Nick 10 race, it's heating up in the second half of the season.
Our game of the week features two contenders who hope to finish atop the league standings in a few weeks.
Friday Night Football's Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Feldco.
Rivalry game, Boylan against Hononegah. Mark LeMay, the acting head coach for the Indians after Brian Zimmerman had a medical incident last week. All the best to Coach Zim on his recovery. Boylan looking to set the tone early. Rashid Johnson, this is on the opening kickoff, trying to send a statement after that loss to Hononegah last season, and he does just that. Early momentum for the Titans, and that's got the away crowd into it early. Hano looking to respond in the first quarter. Cole Warren with a dime to the corner of the end zone. Braden Berg all tied up at 7 now. And Boylan looking to get the running game going. Mekhi Glover, he's been in the end zone all season, and he's back in again. Packed house at Kelsey Field tonight. Just a great atmosphere for a great rivalry game. Still in the second, Boylan looking to push this thing to 2 scores. Connor Dennis finds Rashid Johnson again. His second touchdown of the night. Hano, they want back in the end zone. They got to make something happen. They turn to their best playmaker, the junior Isaiah Huey. Mayer got it back to a 1-score game. Hononegah fans loving it out there. We got Mark Harris. He had a slow first half, but in the beginning of the third quarter, we weren't going to keep him out of the end zone for long, Derek. He turns on the Jets, finds his way into the end zone with some nice cuts. That's a big touchdown. Cole Warren trying to make something happen, down a couple scores, pushes the field, but Santana English is there for the pick. And Hononegah loses to Boylan 33-13.
Now, Belvedere North trying to remain undefeated and take over sole possession of first place in the conference, taking on Auburn. The Knights, though, they came to play. Anthony Purifoy finds Leonard Spates. He dives in for the touchdown, and Auburn gets on the board. The cheerleaders are kicking it. The Knights, they keep pounding it to their big guy as well. Patrick DeBose powers in for the touchdown, and they're down by just 2 at the half. So Belvedere North head coach Jeff Beck trying to make some adjustments, and he says, hey, let's get it to Nico Bertolino, the speedster. One of the fastest kids in the Nick 10 finds the edge, and he dives in for the score. Belvedere North gets the 35-18 win. They are now all alone atop the Nick 10 standings in first place. They got Hononegah on the slate next week.
Guilford looking to become playoff eligible for the first time since 2013, taking on Freeport, picking this one up in the first. Guilford already up 8-0. Skylar Wolf finds David Roberts over the middle, breaking a few tackles for getting into the end zone, extending the lead. Check out this play on the next Freeport drive. Pretzels QB Deshaun Berner hits Zach Matz, but Guilford's Grant Nelson with the peanut punch. Look what I got. Guilford's Gregory Hansred comes up with the tiptoe fumble recovery. Let's take a look at that one more time. Look at those instincts. Freeport would get back, and it's Berner looking to find Diedrich Macon. He's looking deep down the field. He's wide open down the seam. Yeah, getting right past the defense. Wasn't enough for Freeport. Guilford wins it 52-14.
Belvedere and Jefferson both looking for their first win of the season. The Bucks' Jalen Tabalangan going to power through for the touchdown after a nice run to set that position up. 7-0 Bucks early in this one. The cheerleaders cheering way up high in the sky. Belvedere's Jason Dean this time. He takes the handoff, turns the corner, and he breaks free. Nobody touches him. He is gone on his way for the big touchdown run. 14-0 Bucks right out of the gate. But the T-Rex, he's ready for a Jayhawks comeback. And here comes Jefferson getting some momentum on special teams. Braden Llewellyn gets to the punter, forces the fumble. Jefferson recovers, so they've got some great field position. They turn that into points. Joey Alvarez keeps it himself, plows his way in for the touchdown. Jefferson goes on a roll and wins this one 51-26. And Harlem and East meeting up at Swanson Stadium. And about the defense getting into it here. Keyshawn McKinney pressuring the quarterback. And the big man takes him down along with a few other Huskies there. McKinney showing he can stuff the run as well, bottling up the E-Rabs. Tough to run on the big fella up front there. Harlem leading this one 21-6 in the fourth. East, though, fights back. Javius Catlin with the touchdown run to make it 21-12. A little too much Harlem, and Jamani Muhammad, the sophomore speedster, he was helping Huskies come away with the 28-18 win. Big win there for Harlem. Now, we've had lots of good football so far. Still to come, we head to the Big Northern Conference with one team trying to remain unbeaten. We'll have more highlights when FNF returns right after this break. The Stillman Valley stands alone atop the Big Northern Conference. They have a perfect mark coming into the night. The Cardinals, they're hosting North Boone as they try to stay unbeaten. These two teams, well, they were in a dogfight early. North Boone, they need to win out to make the playoffs. Chandler Alderman drops back. He finds Chris Dutch for the first down. Dutch, though, would have to leave the game with a shoulder injury. Mike Lawler trying to coach his defense up. They respond. The Cardinals swarming Alderman. It's tough to bring the big guy down, but they get him to the ground for the sack. The Cardinals offense, well, they're trying to get something going, but that North Boone defense playing inspired, throwing them around as well. And the band, you know, they're playing out there as the Cardinals would have just enough offense in this one. They get the win 21-7 to remain unbeaten atop the conference.
Big game between Dixon and Rockford Lutheran as they try to get one step closer to securing a playoff spot. Both teams 3-2. Starting off in the second, the Crusaders QB, King Hughes. He's going to keep going. He's a hard quarterback to bring down. He can really run with the ball. Next play, just a little more of the same. Hughes looking to pass, nothing there, so he's going to run the ball upfield. He's taken down at the 45. Offense looking to get something set up for a score here. Hughes is going to show he can throw the ball too. Looking downfield, airs it out, but it is tipped and picked by Javi Jaff St. Pierre on the Dukes. The fans like what they see from the defense, but Hughes isn't done yet. He's going to keep the ball once again. He's going to show off those legs. Runs it in for the score as his teammates crown him. But Dixon, they would get a late touchdown, and the Dukes pull out the win, 22-19.
Byron looking for its fifth straight win, hosting Rock Falls on a beautiful night in Ogle County. First offensive play for the Tigers. They waste no time. The freshman, Caden Considine, breaks into the open field, laying down the big stiff arm, just like Daddy taught him. He's running through people. Flag twirlers, you know they like that and appreciate the effort there. Byron now going for the rare pass. Braden Smith to Braden Knoll, and he is in the flat. Gets there for the first score of the game. Tigers take the early lead, and there was plenty more to come. The cheerleaders, yeah, they had a lot to cheer about in this one. Smith getting the job done on the air and the ground. Rips off a big gain with the legs. Check out Braden Smith as he comes right into your living room there. And the Tigers, they roll by the final of 63-0. They are still rolling now.
Genoa Kingston taking on Oregon, another BNC action. Starting off in the first, Nate Kleba going to drop back and pass to Ethan Vasic. He's wide open, going to run upfield for the first before the Hawks defense takes him down. Cogs on the goal line now. They'll hand it off to Traven Atterbury for the first touchdown of the game. Hawks fans looking for something on their first drive. Jack Washburn is going to pass and connects with Griffin Millart. Tackled out of bounds. Next play, hand the ball off to Millart again. He's going to throw it. Pass is broken up. The Cogs will win it. They're 19-0 and become playoff eligible.
Another big win for the Cogs. Now Winnebago, they were fresh off a big comeback win over Dixon last week. They're taking on Rockford Christian. The Indians looking to expand their lead in the second half, but Tayshawn Gaston says not so fast. Snags the tip pass at the line of scrimmage. Scampers all the way down into the red zone. Big play there to swing a little momentum in the favor of the Royal Lions. Brody Carlson takes advantage of the turnover, rolls out, and he rolls his way into the end zone. Royal Lions get to within 17 points, but the Indians, well, they're not letting that comeback happen to them on their homecoming. Alec Weevil finds Brandon Wiggin, who scoops the ball off the turf for the big game. The fans, yeah, all signs pointing to a Winnebago win. Indians threatening. This time it's Supreme Muhammad. Supreme getting to the edge, and he dances his way in for the score. Winnebago rolls 56-18. Another big win for the Indians. We've had lots of good football so far. We are not done quite yet, though. Got a rivalry game in the NUIC, and Lena Winslow's testing itself against a bigger school in a non-conference game. We'll have all those highlights plus our play of the week when FNF returns right after the break.
You're watching Friday Night Football on Channel 13!
Dakota and Dupac both have their sights set on playoff spots this season as they sit in the top half of the NUIC standings. The Indians hosting the Rivermen in a good rivalry game, but Dupac already with an 8-0 lead in the first quarter, and what better way to get your offense going than to set up a screen to the big man, Troy Fagerstrom. And he plows his way down there. Nice gain to end the first quarter. And first play of the second, it's Nathan Folk. He gets to the corner, and he's in for the score to extend the Rivermen lead, as they were not quite done yet, though. Watch this one here. Coming up on the ensuing kickoff after that touchdown, nobody from Dakota picks the ball up. Obviously traveled far enough, so it squirts around a bit before the Rivermen pick it up, and they take it in for another 6 points. So that's going to be a big momentum gainer for them. Later in the quarter, Jalen Nowd, he's helping add to the Dupac lead. They're all over Dakota, 48-20, big win for the Rivermen.
Lena Winslow playing a non-conference game against a bigger school, Marion from Woodstock. There was no trouble in this one. Lena already up 28-0 in the first. Panthers gunner Lobdell takes this one to the house. It's a sweet run. It's just 1 of 3 in the first half. And let's keep it on the ground. Why not? It's working. Jake Zeal takes this one behind the ref there. Zeal on 9 carries in the first had over 100 yards, and this one had a lot to do with it. Zeal on the counter, gets to the outside, and not a single person will stop him. Panthers go up 52-0 in the second on the 2-point try after being called for a hold. Panthers, they're looking to convert. They're able to do that. He's gritting his way into the end zone. They win it 54-7. Our photographers scoured the area for all the best high school football action tonight, but only one could be our play of the week, and we go back out to Hononegah High School for our game of the week. Rasheed Johnson setting the tone early, giving Boylan all the momentum. A great game out there from the Titans. They were all over Hononegah.
Going to be a fun finish to the Nick 10 here. We've got Hononegah, Boylan, and Guilford all 5-1, chasing after undefeated Belvedere North. Going to be a lot to decide over the next 3 weeks. So I hope you stay with us through all of those. We got week 7 coming up next week. For Eric Graver, I'm Derek Bain. Thanks for watching another edition of FNF.